champ is here. I must be the greatest. The champ is here.
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here.
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man. I shook up the world.
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with we. My name is EJ, and of course, I got my man.
MH.
Yes. He's the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Hey, man, today we'll bring you back inside the locker room, and today the topic is June, right? So June is men's mental health, and it's Black Music Month, so we may talk about a couple jams as well, but it is June. Men's mental health, man. MH, you ready to do this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, those have been following us for the illustrious, this is season 6, me and MH always tap in with each other, as a lot of things that kind of go on in and of the culture. And it's a lot that kind of placed on our shoulders and our heads as Black men, navigating, corporate, business, sports world, and just life. So with that, man, I just want a general check-in with my man. So how you doing, MH?
I appreciate it, man. No, I can't complain. Every day that get a chance to live and trying to make the best of the day is a good day that we're still alive and breathing. So I think health-wise we're doing well. Trying to get into back to my flow on some of my wellness and fitness regimens.
Okay. You need some accountability partners, man. You got accountability partners set
yeah,
up,
we might have to tap in on that, bro. Because
okay.
Some days it's like, I don't feel it. Let's get to the sauna, and I got to sweat in. I think I'm at that phase. Like, I'm
right.
Just
hey, as long as you get the sweat in the sauna, that counts, man.
Yeah. But no, I think that's good. Health wise, we're good. My family is growing and good, and everybody's healthy there. And career wise, I think there's some good things popping for us, and looking forward to more of this 6 year in the pot. So business, I can't complain. Right now I'm blessed, man. I'm happy to be here. So doing well, man. What about you? How are you doing, man? What's going on with you?
Man, I believe I can share the same sentiments, man. Starting off, health is good, and it's funny, right? As Black men and on this health journey, there's some sages that are starting to come up with these age ranges that I've been fighting and battling, man. So I'm working not to battle them, but there's some things that you got to get checked out, man. And
for sure.
So as a Black man, young Black man, I do want to encourage people to start doing. At least start with the physical, right? You got to have a baseline. So I implore and charge everyone, hopefully, even though it is a mental health, man, the mental and the physical are definitely tied together. So start going, getting those baselines, the different things that you can do just to make sure that, physically you're prepared to take on what, is coming on with the mentally, man. But from that aspect, so I'm taking those steps and those stages and a little scary. That prostate game ain't no joke. So fellas, make sure you do that right. Mentally, man, just really in a good space. No complaints, right? Like there's definitely things that that come up and that we live through in life, man. But I think it's the positive mentality that you put forward through these things, right? Like yes, they're challenges, yes, they're things, but they define and they build character. Now, you don't feel that going through the things all the time. But, there's challenges that me and you both talk about on camera. And I just want to thank you for that brotherhood and all those that support me with that, man.
For sure, man. And, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's good to share sometimes. I think as men in general, as we move forward in life, sometimes it's there's a lot to bear on your shoulders, and I know we've built for it. God blessed us with broad shoulders for a reason. But at times, man, sometimes it can wear on you a little bit. So getting on the mic with you and the locker rooms and the live shows and our guests, in some ways, is therapy as well. So I appreciate that, man. Appreciate this platform with you, bro.
Yes, sir, man. And I think the people appreciate it. So I think always thankful for them. And I mean, they showed their support, right? For this last, it was good. We went through the process and we were nominated, but to bring it home, we just had to have our viewers and listeners and, our supporters all chime in to do that. So that was dope. And then like everything, man, on the career side and the business side, it's always challenging, always looking for, what's that next step up? What's the right direction to go? Because sometimes we want to move and God's telling us to step fast, right? And then sometimes, when we're not looking, those opportunities kind of open, the doors open and things like that. So from a mental standpoint and business and career, man, it's like just moving forward and staying positive, right?
100%.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And then just kind of, in this month and in this season, right? Like, it gets hot as heck here in Las Vegas, man. So that, kind of puts more emphasis on making sure, like you said, you're getting outside and you're doing the things that you need to do. And even just like, we get so consumed with working and being, all the tasks that you got to do that sometimes you're like, all right, man, maybe just a nice walk, even though it's hot as hell, just getting outside, doing something for that mental clarity.
For sure, man. And, I think we all, as I get older, I understand that as men, we all have our vices, and hopefully your vice and your outlets are not things that get you in trouble or could lead to some other issues. And if that is if that is your vice, praying for you. Hopefully you stay out of trouble. But sometimes the health and the fitness is just a way of, like you said, clarity and getting away from the noise sometime and quieting it down. Also, we've seen over the last, I don't know, about a year now that morning routines are trending for a lot of different reasons. I would encourage all my brothers, man, get you a morning routine, get somewhere quiet. I think I heard Dion said, like, man, if you over 30, you in the bed, get up. No, yeah.
He's like, he ain't supposed to be in bed past a certain time.
Yeah,
or something. I think I heard that one.
Yeah, no, get up and get your day started, man. Pray, meditate, read, walk, think, be quiet for a little bit, and come up with a game plan for each day. That would be my encouragement, man. I think it's good. It's mental clarity.
And I think and you're right on track with that. I think the whole kind of premise of that, right, is setting some intentionality, right? Like if you set something like, okay, like every morning for, this many mornings, I want to at minimum do this. And then, all those intentions just kind of prepare you for like what you want to do, where you're trying to be, and put you in a good physical, mental, and spiritual kind of place to attack all these things.
For sure.
So, all right, man. I mean, so it is mental, health check-in, and I just we just kind of wrapped up a series, and you're my brother, man, you know what I'm saying? And like, all of our listeners know that you are our resident Knicks fan supporter. You hold it down, for the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah.
So I just want to do a health check, man. I mean, because it wasn't not only, so we'll start with this, like we want to start with how you're feeling after the series. And then just some big news about your coaching happened. So let's start with, how you feeling about, what happened in the series. I mean, really good push at the end. It was making some believers and some questions to some people. So tell us how you feel, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. Very disappointed. It was when I had to cancel that time off at work.
That's right, because you had that time scheduled.
Yeah,
We just going to the finals, right?
I was already there. That hurt my feelings, but disappointing outcome to the series for sure. It's even more disappointing when you. I think that's like in life when things happen, but there's some things that you could have done better, just things that you could have controlled,
right?
And so as a fan watching the game, like, man, maybe I was supposed to, we won 2 games when I was sitting on my stairwell watching the game. I switched and try to watch it in just a normal, and so maybe that's why we were turning the ball over in the third quarter. of Game 6 was just I wasn't in my right place, right? So
and you weren't wearing those glasses are kind of emblematic of like the Knicks that orange tint.
I wasn't, man. This is
wasn't
something
rocking these like.
This is something I picked up recently with when Kendrick was in town. So so nah, man. Like I'm disappointed, and then even probably more disappointed with the firing of Coach Thibodeau, man. I'm a firm believer of continuity, consistency,
fit, maybe even.
I just think there's a lot of times like we can't get to the next steps in life if we keep starting and restarting. I mean, that's just kind of how I was raised. You got to kind of see something through. Your role may change, but you got to see it through. And if you start and restart, you can't really see it through to the end. And I just worry that the Knicks have had some consistency and some prosperity of recent years, and I feel like we're gonna, restart. And it's not. And I was talking to somebody about this. It's not just about creating like, better schemes. Like, and you know this, man. When a head coach is changed at a professional organization, it literally changes everything. How the players address the media, when the media comes, how are you going to do practice? What does the corporate partners think? How are you going? How the players are going to be in the community? Do they have these days off? Do they not have these days off? Like everything is adjusted, and it affects everything with the organization. And then the Knicks have built on some kind of consistency over the last couple of years, and for that to just be changed.
5 years? Was it
5 years?
5 years, right?
5 years, and they've been successful. So for that to change, and I was really disappointed. Hopefully for the best. There's people that know better than me, but I just
I don't know, bro. Like,
I don't know, man. I just think
it was a shock, right? Like, I think it was in a line with all of the like. There's been some shocking coaching moves, right? And I think it's kind of going away from the game. And we talked about a little bit of this on the live, the May live, about how basketball is and the product that they're putting on the court. And I don't know if it's the influence of like feeling that you have to make these changes and splashes, or if it's because like getting rid of him with what he was doing, was it finals or bust for him? Like I don't see why you don't like. There's improvement, right? Like. They made it to the Eastern Conference Final and pushed with what they had. So it was just kind of shocking for me. I put that in my shocking category.
Yeah, I mean, especially like this is not a Knicks show, so I'm not going to give it all to the Knicks. But like when you have wholesale changes to the roster, you bring in Karl Anthony Towns, you trade for Mikal Bridges, you just signed OG. You only traded for him a year ago. So you make all those type of moves. It just kind of takes a while for all those things to mesh. And now this is going to be reset again. So I was, and I talked about it on the live. Like I was a very Tibbs Stan type of person. I thought he did a really good job setting the culture, setting roles. But maybe people feel differently about it. Who I would love to talk about because I think a little bit of the new CBA and. How you got to kind of, those different aprons or those different thresholds where you have some penalties and you got to really develop
the luxury tax and how they're changing it to be that way, right? They want you to work through the draft and keep people and get away from the dynasty teams and stuff like that.
Kind of work on the margins. So I'm interested to hear from Brennan about this, about his thoughts on, how maybe the CBA is, affecting some of these coaching things and, how people are moving there. So,
well, I mean, flat out it is, right? Because you look at the two teams, especially OKC, right? Like younger talent, the youngest group of people, like all built their stardom like through the draft and stick with like Chet got hurt his first year, and you still waited for him to get better, put some muscle mass on and things like that. So inevitably, then the next question is, who's the next coach? Like, who do you see? Like, who do you go out there and get? And I think that's my biggest question for when you choose to make that decision. Please tell me like you thought. Don't be like my Steelers in the quarterback situation. Let everybody leave the room. Think you're going to get Aaron Rodgers. And like we at minicamp OTAs and we'll have a damn – all right, I'm not
I mean, so
back on target. But who, right?
Yeah, you get it. So I don't know. I mean, there's been a couple of names floated from Udoka to Jason Kidd to Johnny Bryan, who's assistant coach of the Cavaliers, used to be assistant with the Knicks, to Jeff Van Gundy. I don't know, man. I'm just.
And then you think like Mr. International and I kind of talked about it because from the surprising coach fires, right? Like, so they let go of Mike Brown. So would he be someone that would come and like, could he handle that, right? Mike Malone, like these are names that like you were shocked for what they just recently did with their teams for them to let go. So it's gonna be interesting to see who they bring in. But tying it back, you know how we do, on a mental health situation, Meta World Peace wants to be the coach of the Knicks. He's been on the Twitterverse, and for those that don't know, when he won the championship with the Lakers, he shout out his therapist for helping him get. And we laugh and just right because the way it was delivered. But he went through some things. Who knows how the Mouse in the Palace and all the other things that he had through childhood was kind of rooted up on him. And congratulate that black man for taking the time and the steps. I don't know if changes your name to Meta World Peace, but hey. All the stages in life, whatever makes you. If you like it, I love it. Right?
Yeah, one foot in front of the other. I don't know. Is he in the profession?
Well, that's what I want to. So that just came out a couple of days ago. Maybe it was even today. So I want to kind of look it up to see if he's because I think he's got some sons playing. I mean, he's been around the game, but it's those you don't know, right? Like I didn't know Deshaun Jackson's career path, right? And then he came out. He's a head coach, right? Like so. You never know what they're doing. I think Matt Barnes helped his kids in their AAU for a bit before all the smoke really took off in the other endeavors he has. So it'll be interesting. Now, I don't think that, you come off the streets and you become the Knicks because that's like one of the premier franchises in the NBA. I don't think it goes like that. But, hey, Jeff Saturday was a coach of the Indianapolis Colts. So we see stranger things in life.
Who knows? I mean, Derek Fisher, when he was the coach of the Knicks, it was kind of just out of nowhere. So, I mean, we'll see. But more than everything, more than ever, I think it comes down to how you can develop chemistry and communication with your players, which has probably always been that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be even more important nowadays because it's not like these coaches have long lifespans at a job. So. We'll see.
And it's really interesting to just see how like the coaches are getting developed, right? Like you really don't notice, or at least I guess I don't, from a coaching standpoint, like football, like, oh, he was a DC, he was, he was a position coach, and then he went to a smaller school. He was offensive coordinator, which is like, there's levels to the different coaching positions that you have. That's like slowly elevating you before you become like we see. There's a couple DCs and OCs that are becoming head coaches in the NFL. So it's just interesting to see who gets that next shot and how they're groomed and what happens.
Yeah, and speaking of mental, health here, coming into the job with the Knicks as a new coach, you're gonna have expectations. It's not like the old Knicks where, they sorry, you just gotta try to be competitive, and that's gonna be good enough. But there's real expectation on the roster. You got real players that are, however you believe they're stars. They're all NBA players and. They have their brands and ways they want to play and how they want to be successful. I just don't think it's in New York, and you gotta,
and that brings a whole another level of everything to it, right? Because there's nothing like a Knicks fan, or like a New Yorker in general. So
I'm praying for whoever that man or woman is that is the head coach of the Knicks. I hope you got advice too.
Definitely. And then just kind of wrapping it up, man, like I said, this was a touch base, but I definitely want to get another like mental thing. So Tyrese Halliburton, man.
Yeah.
He is going through some strong mental fortitude, right? So the guy gets on the Olympic team and then he doesn't play, right? He plays really, a low amount of minutes. I mean, to where he did the meme, or the meme was like getting an A in the class and don't do any work.
Group project.
Group project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's most underrated, right? And then he kind of shows up, and now he's in the NBA Finals. He has the thing with his dad pop off, and then it's circling the media where he thought he was going to win the MVP. And that's so tough, right? Like, because he was like walking towards it. So he has some definite mental fortitude and mental toughness. Sure. We'll definitely see how that pushes him forward. And we talked about Chet Holmgren on the other side, man. Like, coming back from injury. I love the collective way OKC does their interviews, and like they're all grouped and like they look like they have a good time. Do you think it's
kind of corny? But
you think it's corny?
Yeah, it's real.
I don't know. It's their thing, though, right? Like, that's corny or not, it's their thing.
They're about to be champions, so it is what it is.
So that's what I was getting at. That was a long-winded way of saying who do you got, and you saying they're the champs.
Yeah, no, I think they'll win. I mean, the Pacers are
sweep, a gentleman's sweep, or you think it's going 6, 5? So give me what are you thinking?
I mean, I think Pacers randomly win 2 games. No disrespect to them, but I just think OKC is really, really good. And shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. I always wonder how those things really affect people. Starks. I know, he had to be thinking about what he's gonna say when he got that trophy, and then you prepared to say it, and it's your teammate.
He was back to yeah. Oh yeah. Wait, hold on. Yeah.
And you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, for real, like they're all human there, So I do wonder how those things affect chemistry a little bit. Hopefully not too much.
Because it's like it's one thing to like if he won, right, and you're like, damn, like I thought I should have won, but like to actually start the and then get it caught on camera where everybody saw you got to doing the steps like you thought you had.
And those things are only questions. Like he's the top dog on the team, so they're only really questions or stories if you actually don't get the award.
Yes,
i.e. Jason Tatum, right?
Right.
So,
hey, and that's the thing, like i.e. Kanye West, right? He's like, man, everybody wanted to know what would happen if I didn't get the award. Well, I guess you'll never. Well, he didn't get the award, so we're gonna see if he takes that chip, and that's like mental momentum, for his mental game and pushes him through. But you said all of that's a non-factor. OKC,
yeah, it's 6. They had a really good year. I'll be surprised. I want to, from my time in the nap, cool. I hope y'all do y'all thing.
Right.
And y'all beat my Knicks. So hope y'all do all right.
All right, man. Well, that's just to check in, man. We had a little fun with it. Checking on man MH. He still got that guarantee out there, so he still got time for the Knicks. It looks like they're making the little improvements, but you still got time, right? Mayan's not she's not in 2nd grade yet, so
she's not there yet. We just started kindergarten, so I got.
And they're making, like you said, they're making improvements. This may be a setback, but they're making improvements. So so the guarantee's still on lock.
It's there, man. We got it. We there. I feel good about this.
Let's go. All right. Well, hey, like I said, thank you guys always for supporting us. This was just a check-in. We do these every so often, just to kind of remind you. And then also, we tied it with the Knicks. Great basketball this year, man. And we always got to support our teams. And anything left for the people, man? You got anything, MH, when we get out of here?
No, shout out to the NBA. However they changed the narrative. I mean, we were talking about them nobody watching the games. Then they did the Luka trade, and the playoffs has been really good. So however they figured it out, or maybe they was just waiting to get to the playoffs. Shout out to them. It's been good.
Shout out to them big time, right? And like Nico Harris's mental health, right? Like because man, my boy Nico was. I was just like, I was shooting Nico text, man. Like, hey, man, I'm praying for you, bro. Man. Keep your head up, man, because like that's. And however you want to think about the trade or the situation, how it went off, man, there's other implications around that. And to have to back how we started the show, man, being a black man in that position once, they were praising you several years ago for some of the deals you did. Now they're like stomping on your head. So, shout out to that man's fortitude and mental.
Shout out to the NBA hooking them up, bro.
Hooking them up, man. So the NBA was like, NFL, y'all write scripts. Can we get one of y'all script writers, man? Like, what can we come up with, man?
Yeah,
they definitely. I mean, well, even the how hard they were fouling, right? Like they were letting them play in the playoffs, and like now it's kind of changed where they're calling oh boy, what do you get the free throws? Shea Alexander, SGA is getting
the foul merchant.
The foul merchant. Yeah. So a lot of storylines, man. But I'm thinking, and I'm hoping it's going to be a little more competitive for the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people kind of saying it's a snooze fest. It's like when you have the non-blue bloods in the March Madness and things like that, where it's like it sounds exciting. We want some of them to get knocked off, but when it comes to the Final Four, you want the dogs in there, the big dogs. So, and maybe these are our young big dogs, right? There's always conversation of who's the new face of the league. Some of these young pups trying to strap up and show them, hey, it's our time.
Yeah, I mean, now that you said that, I mean, if the Pacers get a ring, is my man come? He gonna come show us our ring on Black and Sports? Is he gonna?
Hey, I think Rodney has to, right? Like he gotta come through and show us a ring. Maybe we'll come and see it. WNBA All-Star weekends down in Indy. So maybe.
Oh yeah. So maybe
down there, doing some things, and we can flex the rings, take the picture with the ring.
Maybe do the Shador with the ring.
Shador with the ring. That's what's up, man. Well, hey, thank you all for tapping in with us, man. As you know, we have a new show every Thursday. We just brought you into the side of the locker room. We like to hear, who do you think is going to win the series? You can give us how many games. Do you think it's going to be competitive? Also share some things you're doing to keep your mental health. We want to share those thoughts and topics, on the social media and the comments, and just make sure you guys are taking care of yourself. And like we always say and how we always end it, please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know that we're rooting for you. Peace.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap.